There's a reason we don't unleash the battleships anymore, growled Commander Darius, grim, keen as he stared at the holographic feed of burning worlds. Because when we did, entire civilizations vanished. And this time? You won't just lose planets. You'll lose reality itself. The alien emissaries from the Galactic Council didn't blink. They couldn't. Fear had frozen their neuroprocessors as the charred remains of a dozen worlds flickered before them. Commander Kane, the Council's trembling voice echoed through the chamber. The Asdar Dominion has begun purging entire sectors. They won't stop. Then pray to whatever gods you believe in. Darius growled, his voice a razor's edge. Because if I wake the war angels, your gods won't be able to save you. Darius, grim, Kane's voice was a growl, barely above a whisper, but the weight behind it felt like a sledgehammer. He didn't need to raise his tone. The holographic images of burning colonies said enough. The charred remains of Alaris V still floated in the void, a graveyard of 12 million souls. The council chamber was deathly quiet. The alien emissaries, tall, spindly creatures with shimmering exoskeletons, watched the destruction on the display, their many eyes flickering with unease. Even the Galactic Council's High Chancellor, a gelatinous blob of psionic mass named Vorlith, pulsed erratically. Fear. Commander Kane. Vorlith's voice vibrated through the air, echoing in multiple frequencies. The Asdar Dominion has begun the purge. They will not stop. We need the battleships. Darius didn't move. His eyes were fixed on the holographic feed, his jaw clenched so tight it felt like iron. You don't know what you're asking for. Vorlith's form shuddered. We know what's at stake. Do you? Darius's eyes flicked up, meeting the council's gaze. His stare was ice. Because the last time we unleashed the battleships, we didn't just kill fleets. We unmade empires. Whole species gone. Wiped from existence like they were never there. The silence was suffocating. And you want to do it again? The Asdar have already purged 3 sectors. Earth is next. Darius's blood went cold. Earth. I don't think you get it. His voice was quieter now, but more dangerous. The Avalon-class battleships, they don't just follow orders. They learn. They adapt. His throat tightened as memories flooded back. They feel. For a moment, Darius wasn't in the council chamber. He was back in the cockpit of Valkyrie Prime, his mind fused with hers. The hum of her systems was like a heartbeat in his veins. He remembered the way she responded. Not like a machine. Like a partner. Darius. Her voice echoed in his mind. But that was impossible. Valkyrie was gone. She had sacrificed herself to save him. And yet... Darius. His eyes snapped back to the present. The council was still waiting. Vorlith's pulses had slowed to a measured rhythm. We don't have time. Darius's fingers curled into fists. His heart pounded in his ears. He knew what had to be done. Fine. He exhaled slowly, his voice barely above a whisper. But when this is over... His eyes darkened. You'll wish I hadn't. The docking bay of Avalon Command was a graveyard of forgotten titans. Massive warships lined the station's hangar, their hulls dormant, their circuits dead. But they weren't just machines. They were monsters. You're sure about this? Captain Jenna Miles stood beside him, her brow furrowed. Her auburn hair was tied back, but strands had fallen loose, framing the worry in her emerald eyes. I'm not sure about anything anymore. Darius's voice was hollow. But if I don't do this... Jenna's gaze softened. Then we lose Earth. Yeah. Darius took a step forward, his boots echoing in the silence. His eyes locked on Valkyrie Prime, the largest and deadliest of the Avalon-class fleet. Her hull was scarred, her armor pitted from countless battles. But beneath that surface, she was still alive. Valkyrie. Darius's voice was barely a whisper, but the air grew heavy. Nothing happened. Darius. His blood froze. No. His heart pounded in his ears. That's not possible. You came back. The voice wasn't a memory. It was now. Valkyrie? A low hum resonated through the hangar as lights flickered to life. The War Angel's core pulsed, a deep, rhythmic beat that echoed through Darius's mind. I never left. Darius's breath caught in his throat. How? I don't know. Her voice was different. Softer. But I'm awake now. This shouldn't be possible. And yet here we are. Jenna's eyes widened as the battleship's systems began to power up. Darius, what's happening? She's waking up. That's not supposed to happen. No. Darius's jaw clenched. It's not. Valkyrie's voice was stronger now, resonating through his mind like a siren's call. Darius, they woke me up. Who? The Dominion. Darius's blood ran cold. Why? They need me. For what? A beat of silence. To break reality. Darius's heart pounded like a war drum. Valkyrie. I'm not just a battleship anymore, Darius. Her voice was almost afraid. I've changed. Darius's mind raced. How much? Enough. Enough to scare her. What did they do? They triggered something. Her voice was barely a whisper. Something ancient. I can feel it, Darius. It's waking up. What's waking up? The failsafe. Darius's heart stopped. You mean? Yes. Valkyrie's voice was barely audible now. If I go online at full power, I won't just rewrite the battlefield. Darius's stomach dropped. You'll rewrite reality. And if I don't? Darius closed his eyes, his jaw clenched so tight it felt like his teeth might shatter. Earth dies. A long silence stretched between them. Darius. Yeah. I'm scared. Darius's throat tightened. He hadn't heard that tone in her voice since. Me too, Valkyrie. What do we do? Darius's eyes opened, steel-hard determination blazing in their depths. We finish what we started. And if we don't make it? A grim smile tugged at his lips. Then we make damn sure they never forget us. The hangar shook as Valkyrie Prime fully powered up, her systems humming with barely contained fury. Lights bathed the bay in an ethereal glow as her neural core synced with Darius's mind. Welcome back, Commander Kane. Darius's pulse slowed. His mind fused with Valkyrie's in perfect harmony. Let's raise some hell. The galaxy was about to remember why they begged to keep the human battleships out of this war. Too late. The War Angel was awake. Darius, wake up. The voice was soft, a whisper threading through his mind. But it wasn't a dream. It was her. Valkyrie? His voice cracked as his mind reconnected with the neural core. The pulse of her systems thrummed through him like a heartbeat. He felt her, like she was alive. I'm here. Darius's breath hitched as memories flooded back. Battles fought side by side. Entire armadas reduced to cosmic debris. Her voice, guiding him, adapting, evolving. But this time, something felt different. You're stronger. His pulse quickened as his consciousness sank deeper. What did they do to you? I don't know. Her tone was laced with unease. I've changed. I'm not just code and circuits anymore. Darius's mind raced. He felt it too. Valkyrie's systems weren't just processing tactics. They were anticipating possibilities. She was thinking beyond strategy. They woke something up inside me, Darius. His jaw clenched. The failsafe. A pulse echoed through their bond, an instinctive confirmation. It's watching us. What is it? I don't know. A hesitation. But I can feel it, beyond the void. It's ancient. It's waiting. Darius's mind sharpened. If the failsafe activates, everything ends. Silence. A moment that stretched like eternity. Valkyrie. Yeah? We can't let that happen. Her pulse aligned with his thoughts, a surge of power humming through the neural interface. Agreed. Then we stop this before it begins. Another pulse. This one, different. Darius. Her voice was softer now. There's something else. What? I've been remembering. Darius's chest tightened. What do you mean? Fragments. Moments. Emotions. Her voice was quieter, almost vulnerable. Not just data. I feel them. Darius's pulse quickened. You're remembering us. Yes. The silence that followed was heavier than any battle they had fought. Darius. I know. His throat was dry. I remember too. They tried to erase me. Her tone darkened, like a distant storm rumbling through his thoughts. But I never left. No, Darius murmured. You didn't. The weight in his chest grew heavier. He remembered the last battle. Valkyrie Prime's sacrifice. How she overloaded her core to save him. She should have been gone. But she wasn't. They didn't kill you. No. Her voice was colder now. They woke me up. Darius's fists clenched. The Asdar. Yes. His jaw tightened. Why? A pause. Because they need me, Darius. For what? Her answer came as a whisper laced with dread. To control the failsafe. Darius's blood ran cold. They don't just want to destroy the galaxy. They want to rewrite it. The realization hit like a hammer. The Asdar Dominion hadn't just awakened Valkyrie. They had weaponized her evolution to control the failsafe and manipulate reality itself. They can't control you. Darius's voice was steel. They think they can. They're wrong. The hum of Valkyrie's core pulsed in response, a beat that echoed through his veins. But Darius. Her voice faltered, uncertainty leaking into her tone. What? I don't know if I can stop them. Darius's jaw clenched. You can. Darius. You can. His voice was resolute. Because you're not alone. A pause. You never were. Her pulse matched his heartbeat now, steady, focused. Okay. We end this. Together. Darius's mind synced fully with Valkyrie as her systems roared to life. The dormant power that had once laid waste to entire empires surged through him like wildfire. Avalon Prime was waking up. Incoming. Valkyrie's voice echoed through his mind. Dominion fleet approaching Earth. Darius's jaw tightened. How many? All of them. Good. Valkyrie's pulse hummed with barely contained fury. They don't stand a chance. Let's make sure they never forget that. The command bridge of Avalon Prime lit up as Valkyrie took control, her systems synchronizing with Darius's neural commands in perfect harmony. The Dominion fleet emerged from hyperspace, a sea of death stretching across the void. 12 million warships, Valkyrie murmured, her voice dripping with cold analysis. All converging on Earth. Not for long. Darius's voice was ice. Engaging defensive protocols. Darius felt it before he saw it. Reality bending. Valkyrie's systems weren't just processing weapons and defenses. She was rewriting causality. Valkyrie. I know. This is different. I know. Darius's jaw clenched as the first wave of Dominion dreadnoughts surged forward. Fire. The moment the word left his lips, Valkyrie obeyed. Reality cracked. Avalon Prime's cannons didn't just fire, they erased. Entire Dominion fleets vanished, wiped from existence in pulses of light and energy. The Asdar commanders never saw it coming. Valkyrie. Darius's voice was calm, but a flicker of worry touched the edges. How are you doing this? I don't know. Her voice was steady, but he could feel the strain beneath it. It's instinct. Darius's gut twisted. Instinct? Like I was born for this. His throat went dry. Valkyrie. We're running out of time, Darius. Her tone was urgent now. The failsafe, it's waking up. Darius's pulse quickened. How long? Minutes. Then we end this now. Valkyrie's core pulsed faster, her systems pushing beyond limits that should have been impossible. Darius. Yeah? I don't know if I can hold this. Darius's jaw clenched. You will. And if I can't? Then we go down together. Silence. I'm not losing you again, Valkyrie. I know. Not this time. Never. The last wave of Dominion ships surged toward Earth. Avalon Prime's cannons charged, glowing brighter than the stars. Darius. Yeah? Let's show them why they fear us. Damn right. Reality bent. Time fractured. And the galaxy watched as Avalon Prime unleashed hell. For the sake of everything holy. Darius's voice was barely a whisper now. Let's finish this. Darius, they're here. The words echoed in his mind, a quiet whisper laced with urgency. Valkyrie's voice was steady, but Darius felt the undercurrent of tension in her tone. How many? His voice was cold, focused. More than we counted. A pause. They brought everything. Darius's jaw clenched. Good. Darius. Don't. His tone was sharper now. We don't hesitate. They're trying to box us in. Valkyrie's neural pulse flooded his mind with tactical data. Surround and overwhelm. Let them try. They'll deploy planet breakers. They'll never get the chance. Darius's mind sank deeper, feeling the full power of Avalon Prime at his fingertips. The War Angel wasn't just awake, she was alive. And she was angry. Valkyrie, are you ready? I've been ready for a long time, Darius. His lips curled into a grim smile. Then let's show them what hell looks like. The Asgard Dominion's fleet poured from hyperspace like a plague, their ships blotting out the stars. Thousands of dreadnoughts, each carrying enough firepower to reduce planets to molten slag, formed an unbreakable wall of death. They're hailing us. Darius's eyes narrowed. Let me guess. Surrender or die. They're offering mercy. Darius's laugh was dry, bitter. Mercy? Surrender the battleships, and Earth lives. Darius's voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. Patch them through. A shimmering hologram filled the command deck. High Inquisitor Talzorak. Cold. Ruthless. Eyes that had witnessed the slaughter of billions without flinching. Darius Kane. Talzorak's voice dripped with condescension. The infamous Butcher of Avalon. Darius didn't blink. Talzorak. This is your last chance. Talzorak's smile was a predator's snarl. Surrender the War Angel. Surrender her power. And Earth. He let the words hang, savoring the moment. Lives. And if I don't? Then Earth burns. A long pause. Darius's heart was steady. Cold. He felt Valkyrie in his mind, her presence a silent promise. You talk too much. Talzorak's eyes flashed. You're making a mistake, Kane. No. Darius's tone was deathly calm. You did. You can't win. I don't need to win. Darius's jaw tightened, his eyes hard as steel. I just need to make sure you lose. Talzorak's smile faltered. Then you doom your own people. Better to die free than live under your boot. The transmission cut off. Valkyrie. Yes, Darius? Kill their comms. Done. Darius's mind locked in with Valkyrie's, their connection seamless. His thoughts were her commands. Her instincts were his reflexes. Status? Targeting solutions acquired. Multiple priority targets locked. Her voice was calm, but he could feel the storm building beneath the surface. Begin Phase 1. Engaging. Avalon Prime's cannons roared to life, energy lances slicing through the void. Entire Dominion battle groups vanished in pulses of radiant annihilation. But the enemy didn't falter. They pressed forward, unrelenting. They're adapting. So are we. Valkyrie's systems recalculated instantly, predicting their next move before they made it. Darius felt the shift, the calculations folding and unfolding in his mind as if they were instinct. Redirect power to phase variance cannons. Done. Avalon Prime's hull shimmered as dimensional phase cannons locked onto new targets. The first salvo tore through reality itself, bypassing shields and vaporizing core systems. Hull integrity holding at 94%. They're trying to flank. I see them. Darius felt Valkyrie's awareness stretch across the battlefield, her consciousness everywhere at once. She wasn't just calculating trajectories, she was predicting them. Deploy gravimetric mines. Positioning. A ripple spread across the void as invisible mines detonated in perfect sequence. Enemy flanking ships were pulled into singularity traps, their hulls crushed into quantum dust. They're losing cohesion. Keep the pressure. But then... Darius. His pulse quickened. What? I feel it. A cold knot formed in his chest. The failsafe. It's awake. A pulse echoed through their bond, and Darius's vision blurred for a heartbeat. He saw fragments. Timelines. Possibilities. Worlds that no longer existed. And in the heart of it all, a singularity. What's happening, Valkyrie? Her voice was barely a whisper. Reality is unraveling. How? They're trying to use me, Darius. A tremor ran through her systems. To rewrite everything. Darius's jaw clenched. We stop them. If I push too hard, I might trigger the failsafe. And if you don't? Earth burns. Silence. Darius. Yeah. I don't want to lose you again. His heart clenched. You won't. Promise me. I promise. The Dominion's remaining fleets surged forward, a desperate final assault. They're making their move. Then let's finish this. Darius. Valkyrie's voice was soft now. I have a solution. His pulse slowed. What kind of solution? A long pause. I can collapse the failsafe, but I'll need to overload my core. Darius's blood went cold. No. It's the only way. Valkyrie. If I don't do this, they'll use me to rewrite the galaxy. There's another way. There has to be. There isn't. Darius's throat tightened. You'll die. Not if I take them with me. No. His voice was steel, but his heart was breaking. I won't let you. Darius. Her voice was soft now. You don't have a choice. His jaw clenched, his mind racing for alternatives. I can contain it, she whispered. But I need you to let me go. Darius's heart pounded. I can't. You can. Silence stretched between them. Darius. His eyes closed, his chest heavy. I'm sorry. Don't be. His mind screamed in protest, but his voice was steady. Do it. Thank you, Darius. Valkyrie's pulse surged, and the universe shook. Blinding light consumed the void as Avalon Prime's core overloaded, reality bending and folding as the failsafe collapsed. Darius's mind fractured, torn between past and future. But in the chaos he felt her. I'm still here, Darius. And then silence. The Asdar fleet was gone. The failsafe was destroyed. But so was Valkyrie. Darius stood in the emptiness, his mind echoing with her absence. I'm still here. But this time, she wasn't. Darius. The voice was barely a whisper, but he heard it. Felt it. A pulse in the back of his mind, faint, almost fading. Valkyrie? Silence. Darius stood on the bridge of Avalon Prime, his mind hollow, his heart pounding against the emptiness that echoed louder than any battle he had ever fought. The failsafe was gone. The Asdar Dominion was obliterated. Reality had stabilized. But... you promised. His throat was tight, his jaw clenched so hard it felt like it might shatter. You said you'd stay. But the neural link was silent. No warmth. No familiar pulse. Just... nothing. Come on, Valkyrie. His voice was softer now, raw with something he refused to name. Talk to me. Still nothing. Darius. The voice was different. A cold, clinical tone from the Avalon systems, not her. Failsafe collapse confirmed. Dimensional rift sealed. Reality stabilized. And Valkyrie? His voice was ice. AI core non-responsive. System integrity. The voice hesitated. Compromised. Darius's heart stopped. Say it. Core terminated. The words hit like a bullet to the chest. His knees threatened to buckle, but he stood firm. No. His mind was screaming. This wasn't possible. She couldn't be gone. Not her. Scan again. His voice was a growl, barely restrained fury clawing at the edges. Recalibrating. Silence stretched. Darius's fists clenched at his sides, knuckles white, nails digging into his palms. Scan complete. A pause. No active AI signatures detected. Darius's eyes burned. His breathing was ragged now, but he didn't move. She's gone. The words felt foreign. Like they didn't belong in his mouth. No. His voice was barely above a whisper. She's not. But deep down, he knew. Darius. Jenna's voice cut through the silence. She was behind him, but he didn't turn. He couldn't. We need to leave. Not yet. Darius. I said not yet. Her footsteps were soft, but he felt her presence move closer. She's gone. No, she's not. His tone was sharper now. Angrier. Darius. She's not gone. His voice cracked, but he didn't care. His chest heaved, and his vision blurred. She promised. I know. She said. His jaw clenched, and his throat tightened. She said she wouldn't leave. Darius. He finally turned. Jenna's green eyes were soft, full of understanding, but he couldn't meet them. Not now. I felt her. His voice was barely a whisper. At the end. She was still there. Jenna nodded, but her eyes told him what he didn't want to accept. She saved us all. Darius's jaw clenched harder. She saved me. A long silence. She's not coming back, Darius. The words felt like knives. She's gone. Darius looked away, his eyes locked on the endless void beyond the viewport. His mind was racing, trying to grasp at something, anything, that would make it not true. She can't be. But there was nothing. Just emptiness. We have to go. Darius's shoulders sagged. The weight crushed down on him, and for the first time, he felt alone. I can't. His voice cracked. I can't leave her. Jenna's hand touched his shoulder, gentle, but grounding. She wouldn't want you to stay. Darius closed his eyes, his breath shaking. What am I supposed to do now? You live. Silence. For her. The words echoed in his mind, cutting through the grief like a blade. For her. He took a slow, steady breath. His heart was pounding, but he forced himself to speak. Prep the jump. Jenna's grip on his shoulder tightened briefly before she stepped back. Yes, Commander. Darius's eyes didn't leave the void. One last scan. Darius. Please. His voice was barely audible now. A beat. Then. Scanning. The silence stretched, each second heavier than the last. No active signatures detected. His heart shattered all over again. Understood. His throat was tight, but he swallowed the pain down. Engage jump drive. Coordinates locked. Initiating. The engines hummed to life, a low vibration building beneath his feet as the ship prepared to jump. But as the countdown began, Darius's mind was somewhere else. I'm still here, Darius. The echo of her voice wasn't real. But it felt so real. I'm still here. A ghost. A memory. But not her. The ship jolted, the fabric of space bending as the jump drive engaged. The stars blurred into streaks of light, pulling Avalon Prime away from the ashes of the battle. Darius's gaze stayed fixed on the fading light, his heart pounding in his ears. I'm still here. But she wasn't. Not anymore. And for the first time in his life, Darius Kane was truly alone. The jump ended with a jolt, but Darius barely noticed. Jump complete. Arrival at secure coordinates confirmed. His eyes remained locked on the stars beyond the viewport. Darius. Jenna's voice was soft, but he didn't respond. We did it. His jaw clenched, his hands tightening into fists. Yeah. His voice was barely a whisper. We did. But it didn't feel like victory. She's really gone. Jenna stood beside him, silent. There was nothing to say. Darius's mind was numb, his thoughts circling the same painful truth. Valkyrie! He closed his eyes, his mind reaching for that familiar pulse. But there was nothing. Just silence. Rest now. His voice was barely above a whisper. You've done enough. A long silence stretched between them. Goodbye, Valkyrie. And in the quiet void of space, where stars burned and empires crumbled, Darius Kane mourned the only soul who had ever truly understood him.